everyone and welcome to another video. If you're new, my name's Emma. I'm an illustrator based in Sheffield and these are my daily-ish vlogs. And today I've been out in a cafe and I've been trying to practice adding colour for this 3 materials drawing challenge. I did the 3 materials drawing challenge last year. If you don't know what it is, it's a challenge that has been set up by 3 illustrators, Catherine Boyd, Naomi Tipping and Charlotte Durance. And around this time of year, it starts to manifest in my mind. So it's a 50-day project this year. Last year, it was a 100-day project. So much more manageable this year. And last year, I really enjoyed it. By the end of it, I felt like I was like really good. So it's basically a challenge where you pick 3 materials, you draw from life for however many days. This year it's 50 days. And you don't spend any longer than 30 minutes. I think last year it was you don't spend any more than 10 minutes, but 30 minutes, whatever, a set amount of time. So you don't have like all day to do it, basically. Trying to encourage quick drawing. Basically what I'm doing, like time sketching is kind of what I do anyway. But this is adding colour into it, which is kind of good to think about. But I've got into such a groove with my sketchbooks this year, this past just over 6 months, over 12 months now. This whole year I've really got into a groove with my sketchbooks. I like my sketching. And now, so this year I think I'm feeling a bit more resistance to the challenge because I like drawing monochrome in my my dark indigo pencil, and I don't know, I've got comfortable. So the idea of having to think about colour combinations and adding colour, it just adds more time to my sketches, you know what I mean? Like I like to draw quickly before people move, and I'm finding that I am spending so much time picking materials and working out what material is going to go where, that by the time I've actually looked up from my page, the people who I was going to draw have gone. So I don't know. I'm not feeling as amazing about it as I did last year, but I've been saying this to my pal Jenny and to Andy as well. The fact that I'm feeling so much resistance to it and I'm finding it so tricky means there's probably a weakness there that I need to work. So I'm hoping by the end of the 50 days, I'm going to at least feel more comfortable quickly adding colour and choosing the right colours. Like at the beginning of any kind of challenge like this, you either feel incapable, you either prove yourself to be incapable, or it's all just a little bit clunky. So I still think it's going to be a good challenge to do. I did a drawing today in some colours that I chose. I won't show you, I showed you it earlier on in the video. Those colours I chose from these books. I got these books specifically for this challenge. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram and on the internet using them. So these are some Japanese books called A Dictionary of Colour Combinations. Basically, it's a collection of colour combinations. A lot of the writing is in Japanese, obviously, but from what I've translated, not from my Duolingo knowledge of Japanese, but from Internet Translate, it is capturing the colour combinations used in a very specific kind of pre-Second World War time in Japan, as kind of, from what I read, it's like, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, as Japan was being influenced more by the West. I don't know whether this book is, I need to translate more, basically. I don't know whether this book is trying to kind of capture the combinations, the colour combinations that were around in pottery and all that kind of stuff before like too much of it was lost to outside influence. I'm not sure, but they've basically colour swatched. You can see it more in volume 2. So like kimonos and stuff. So you've got the colours that have been used together in things. So I thought that might be a good way of helping me choose colours for this challenge. And that's what I did today as a practice. And I actually might use it for my first 3 materials drawing challenge post, because I'm going to try and get ahead. I don't like being too far behind. I don't even know if I'm going to post these things up this year. But I'm going to definitely do it for 50 days. So this was the combination that I chose from today. I had to mix a colour there. So it's like I think it's called sulphur yellow. Yeah, sulphur yellow. So I mixed, I was trying to mix yellow and green, but it ended up too green, or didn't have enough substance. So I added, it was an Ecoline peach, I think, with a tiny bit of green and some white, and it made a fairly similar colour. And I used an orange pastel and my blue dark indigo, and it actually made quite a nice drawing. But yeah, the sections in this is volume 1. The sections in it with 2 colours. This one doesn't show you what they're from. And then there's a whole bunch of 3 colour combinations, and then some 4 colour combinations. So I got those, I caved, and I'm glad I did. If nothing else, it's a nice little kind of reference book to look through. So I'm going to look after those. I also went to the charity shop on the way back from the cafe. Let me show you what I got. Actually, first let me show you the drawing that I did. I've decided to kind of limit my initial frustration with this challenge. I'm going to have a separate book for 3 materials drawing challenge. Last year I think I drew exclusively in 3 colours throughout the challenge. But what I want to do this year, I want to focus on my quick pencil drawings, probably with my dark indigo, and have like 1 or 2 drawings every day in the colour combinations that I choose. So today's was here, and I think having them in a separate book will help. And then I'll feel like less inclined to have to draw in those colour combinations, and I think I'll get less frustrated with it. I got less frustrated today. Knowing that I didn't have to draw with these combinations all day was nice. So I did the sulphur yellow in the windows. I added some orange midtones, and then I went round in the dark indigo. Quite like it, quite like how it turned out. Also, it's going to be a good use of a watercolour sketchbook, because if you don't know, I've got a bunch of watercolour sketchbooks that I very rarely use because they were all so expensive. So my favourite kind of sketchbooks now are cheap sketchbooks. But I've still got a bunch of these left over, so it'll be a good way to get these used up. So yes, onto my charity shop stuff. So my first thing was this ceramic dish. I'm not going to use it for casseroles, I'm going to use it for paint. It's smaller than the one I've already got. And this is what I do instead of going to buy those ceramic like watercolour mixers. Just go to the charity shop, buy a ceramic, I don't know, casserole dish or something. I've got one of these which is much bigger, but this is a nice size for the table. I got this the other day. I got this when I was out at a charity shop the other day. I've never seen it before. I liked the illustrations. So I like the combination of the big bright colours and then the black and white with the colour spot on it. Well, that was quite interesting. So I'll have fun reading those. Never seen it before, but I liked it. Caught my eye. Then today I've got these. So there's a couple of Stig and Tild graphic novels, graphic stories. I like this kind of story, and I am interested to see how they're done because the format intrigues me for my own stories. I think some of my own stories could work, but as with everything, when you're looking into a new kind of format or a new way of doing things, the best way to find out how they're done is to read them. So I bought a couple of those. They were £2 each. This one was £1.99. £1.99. This was £2 and this was £2. Nice. So I'll have fun reading those tonight. Also got this. I love Catherine Rayner's illustrations, and I just couldn't resist. I couldn't leave it. I couldn't leave it in the charity shop. Such lovely colours. And then I got this. I've never heard of this artist, but interestingly, they were an artist who had no use of their arms. So you can see them there painting with, hang on. So you can see them there painting with their mouth. So I thought that was quite interesting. I liked the paintings, the use of colour. Oh, delicious. So I just thought that would be interesting to find out a little bit more about an artist I'd never heard about. Let me know in the comments if you've heard of them. And I liked their use of colour. I liked the brush marks. Nice to be inspired, isn't it, by other things. And also I now need to tick off this because unfortunately I was not a winner in the Shirley Hughes Award competition. So I circled it because I entered it, and now I'm going to tick it because I was rejected. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I made this checklist. The idea of the 100 rejection lists isn't my idea. I got it from a woman called Katie Chappell. She's an illustrator. She's one of the Good Ship illustration people. And the idea is it's getting you over the fear of failure and getting you applying to stuff. It doesn't have to be competitions. It can be jobs. It can be, approaching agents. Can be whatever. So this is a little checklist that I made. The colours are slightly different to how I've made them. There should be a full rainbow, but my printer is running out of ink. But if you would like this, it's available for free over on my Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/Emma Woodthorpe, there it is. This is in, if you go to the collections tab at the top, I'll link it in the video description as well. If you go to the collections tab at the top and scroll down to competitions and opportunities, I have a folder on there. So whenever I hear about a competition or an opportunity, anything like that in the kind of illustration, children's book illustration, or just general illustration field, I put up a post with, it's free to access. You don't need to become a free member or anything anyway. But I put something up for free. I put a post up for free letting you know about competitions and opportunities. So this is in there as well. I thought it would be fun to share this with everyone. So it'll help you potentially apply for more stuff, and you never know, you might get the best opportunity of your life just because you're not scared to be rejected. So I'm aiming to get 100 rejections. I mean, it'd be nice if I can get them in a year, but probably not. But you never know. So if you want one of those, one of these, you can go to patreon.com/Emma Woodthorpe, there it is, to grab your own. Also, if you are interested in being kept in the loop about illustration competitions and opportunities that I hear about, I know they're on there for free, but you might want to come and follow me for free over on Patreon, and then you will get a notification in your inbox whenever a free post comes up. So if you are looking to find out about competitions and opportunities, whenever one comes on my radar, I always post it up for free. And I do that because I don't want to be a gatekeeper of information and stuff. So the stuff like that is available for free. Like I say, you can follow me for free. You don't have to follow me for free to be able to access the free posts. But if you do follow me for free, you will get a notification. So it means you won't miss out on stuff like that. So that's always an option if you want to come and do that. And then anytime that you wanted, you can always dip into a paid tier if you want to. You do it month by month, or you can keep it rolling over. It's up to you. Or you might never want to do that. That's completely fine as well. It's always an option. But while you're there, go and have a look at the paid tier offerings that I've got, because I think they're quite good. If you like drawing and stuff, I think you'll enjoy them. As a quick overview, on the £1 tier, I've tried to make the £1 tier as packed full of value as possible, because I know we're all struggling at the moment, and I wanted to make stuff available to as many people as possible. So on the £1 tier, you will get an invite to our monthly live drawing Zoom session where we practice drawing. I provide some images, you just bring something to draw. Your camera can be on or off, it's up to you. And for 40 minutes we'll draw live together. You'll also have access to the recording of that session, and, which is also good, access to the recordings of all of our previous sessions, which is a bunch now. So even if you just wanted to join in for a month, you can get a lot of value. So you can join for the month, get your head in gear and go and watch all of those recorded sessions, and you'll have access to those for as long as you're a paying member, or whenever you are. So if you jumped back in the future, if you cancelled your membership and then jumped back in, you'd also have access to all of the recordings as well. So you also get, as well as your invite to the live Zoom session, you get a sketchbook tour every month from me, and you also get monthly downloads. So I make calendar downloads, desktop wallpapers, phone wallpapers and stuff, and they're all available on the £1 tier. There's also a double the love tier. So it's exactly the same as tier 1, but it's just a bit more support if you wanted to, if you're in a position to do that and you wanted to, but no obligation. There's no obligation at all to do that. And I've also got a VIP tier, which is a £5 tier. Now, this isn't one that I expect you to necessarily stay a member of all the time. It's one that you can dip into and out of. It's not with the £5 VIP tier, which is very interested in publishing. It's basically whenever I get information about either self-publishing or traditional publishing, I'll make a video and put it up in there. I haven't done one recently, but there's like a bank of information in there. So it's not updated regularly, although when you're on that tier, you also get access to all of the stuff on the £1 tier as well. It's not updated regularly, but because of that, you can kind of dip in, get a bit of information, and then dip out again and keep an eye on it. And if any new information comes up, you can always dip back into there. But it's meant to be a bank and a resource of information as and when I get it. But I am aware that not everybody wants to be informed about children's book publishing or self-publishing. So that's why I've kept it as a separate tier. And because the information is quite... I think the information is quite good. It's stuff that because I've self-published my first book, and now I'm on the traditional book publishing journey, and there's so much to know about self-publishing that I do think the stuff that's in there is quite good value still. But obviously, feel free to never dip your toe into that tier if you don't want to, and feel free to not keep as a member of that tier, because I do know it's not updated month after month. It's just a bank of information that's there. So maybe just keep your eye on it and dip in and out of it whenever you want to. Up to you. You can stay a member of it if you want to. If you want to just pledge a bit more, you can use that tier as a way to support me a bit more, because you do have access to all of the tier rewards when you're in that tier. But again, feel free not to. That's completely up to you. Right, I am now going to leave this video here. As you can probably tell, I'm full of sun cream and I need a shower. So hopefully I will catch you in the next video. So until then, bye.